Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. It is later in the afternoon. Getting off to a late start today because Melanie and I went to the doctor again today to get a checkup, and today I did hear the baby's heartbeat and it was very weird. It reminded me of something like in a submarine, like a sonar, this woof woof. It was a really weird underwater sound. It was really cool. So I was with Melanie this time, so thank you guys for letting me know how you can do that. I had no idea that men go in with the women to those things. It was really cool. Show you around what's been going on besides that. This morning when we left, I put out all my seedlings into the sun, well, into the shade, to get some sun, and unfortunately we were gone longer than I had planned. And now only a few seedlings are alive because the sun moved and they were no longer in the shade when I got home, and everything is wiped out dead. They were actually dried to a crisp. I don't know how with the lid on that this was able to completely dry to a crisp, but it did. It's all bone dry. Quite sad and frustrating. So everything is dead. Looks like one might survive over here. A couple here. Actually, some are starting to come up, but it's sad. I may have to start and scrap this all and start over again, which is a week lost. Quite frustrating. I wanted to get them out. I wanted to get them a little bit of sunlight, a little bit, because they were getting really thin and long, super thin and stringy. Well, here, because they were not getting any light at all. And it wasn't good for them, so I wanted to get them some indirect sunlight. And what happened is we were in town way longer than I thought, and then by the time we got home they were in full sunlight and baked. So frustrating. It's a total loss. Well, except for a couple. It's no near total loss, but that's that. Truck is running well on the capacitor battery replacement. Started it 6 times today, on and off around where we were driving and doing our rounds, and didn't fail me at all. Now, this morning it was low voltage, so after sitting over the weekend, the voltage did go down, and today I'm going to run some tests with a meter hooked up and data logging meter, and we're going to do some graphs and see. On the way back I got some nicer pallets which will help. I'm stocking up on pallets, and I'm only taking the good ones. The broken ones people take around here and use them for firewood. So I took the good ones, and that'll help me get going and finishing my shop, my siding in my workshop, the paneling. Now, we went to Habitat for Humanity and got a really cool deal for the chicken coop. Let me put that one aside. We got complete, I think these are called double hung windows, complete for $5 a piece. I couldn't even build them for that price. That is crazy. We got double hung windows for the chicken coop for $5 a piece. That is so cool. So I got the glass for the other one here. So the chickens are going to have real windows, and it's going to look so cute. I could not pass that up for that price. Like I said, I couldn't make them for that. No way. I was thinking about how am I going to make plexiglass in the framing and all that, but there they are. Over here in the electronics lab, I've got various things running. Now, I still have to get some padding underneath the Bedini motor to cushion that sound. It's amplified by the wood. And the Quantic Q3 generator is running. So everything's looking good in here, and I have batteries being restored and charged up. This set of capacitors is at 10 volts right now. As soon as that gets up to 12, 14 volts, I'm going to put the little battery back over onto here and let that start charging up. And then I may end up just actually powering the Quanta with that and see what happens once I get them topped off. It'll be interesting to see how long it can actually power the device. And then over here I've got my store-bought little battery powering that again, which is pumping energy into those batteries down over here. And again, the Quanta is putting charge into these. So got a lot going on. Now, for those of you who keep asking about the Bedini motor, I do plan to build a Bedini motor on video very soon. So I'm gathering up supplies and resources, and I hope to have everything sourced so that you can just, with a mouse click, go and get everything yourself. So that's the plans. I'm looking to get everything lined up so it's going to be easy for you to go ahead and get everything you need. So I just come out here from time to time and check with the meters and check the voltages of everything. I'll be back out in a little while, and these will, well, hopefully these will be up there. The Quanta seems to like batteries, like the bigger battery banks. At least mine seems to like the bigger battery banks more than the capacitors, and more than it likes the smaller batteries. Now, the Bedini just charges everything from the tiniest batteries onto the biggest. Hey guys, I'm out here doing some data logging tests. I have a data logging multimeter that I'm using, which really cool, runs through Bluetooth to my cell phone and gives me every half second a reading on the voltage of my capacitor bank. So I'm running various experiments. I went and left the dome light on for 15 minutes, I think it was, over 15 minutes, and was able to start the vehicle. I ran the headlights on. I should have checked if they were on high or low beam. I ran the headlights on for 1 minute, down to 10.9 volts, and was able to then still start the vehicle. And various tests like that I'm conducting to see what's the maximum I can do with this. So let's say you pull into a rest area or wherever you're stopping and your headlights are on, and as you're shutting things down you don't shut off the headlights first, which happens quite often. You'll still be able to restart the vehicle, and that's one of the tests I'm carrying out here. It's very important. So the dome light ran for 15 minutes straight, and I still was able to start the vehicle, and it was down to about 10.5 volts at that point. Dropped down to 8 as it was starting, and it fired right up. And then with a headlight test I dropped it down to 10.9 in just over a minute or so of running the headlights. That's about 120 watts of power with two 55 watt headlights. I think they're 55 watt headlight bulbs, plus figure 5, 10, 15, 20 watts on all the indicator and running lights. So about 120 watts it ran for about a minute, and then I was able to still start the vehicle. So just conducting a lot of tests here to make sure that that's going to be okay in real world scenario. And a lot of people are questioning why I do this. Well, I have my reasons, and it is a priority, but I can't share those reasons with you due to my trolls, so you'll have to just trust me that I know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it, just running tests. Melanie wants me to fire up the grill, so I got to get that going. It's like 75, maybe 80 degrees today. Actually 73 degrees now at 6:30 in the afternoon, so it must have been really up there today, as it was really hot for me. So I'm going to get the grill going and continue carrying out experiments here and stress tests on the capacitor bank.